All right, so let's go ahead and disassemble this thing some more. I'm gonna start with the charging handle, just because there's the this little release spring thingy. Yeah, you can see the spring in there, and it's a little spring thingy. And there's a pin right here. It's a roll pin. It's a very tiny roll pin, so it should be pretty easy, I think. I don't know if there's a correct way to do this, but I'm just gonna punch the pin out. Yeah, easiest pin of my life. There's the pin, super tiny. I'm gonna put this in a bag really quick so I don't lose it. And then I'm gonna hold on to this, pull the punch out like that, and then that will release this. It may be a little tricky to get this back in there because you got to line up the hole, but see, we just got the spring. Maybe it may be caught by where it's supposed to sit. There we go. Comes out. That is a spring. Yeah, I don't see anything else in there. It's just a spring hole. I'll probably clean that out at some point. That's disassembled. I did have a spring and pin kit that was supposed to come from Palmetto. I got it, and the package was sealed on itself on the wrong side. So like normally it would close like that and seal. It was closed like this and it was open and the thing was missing. So I guess I don't have one of those now, but they did refund me. And so set aside the spring and the lever thing for later. This one is ready for whenever I want to strip the paint off of it. I need to get some better stripper because this stuff, it doesn't get everything. So one thing I want to point out is the bolt, I believe is the Colt gray. I'm not entirely sure, but that's the color that it should be from what I can tell. So the next part to tackle is the dust cover. All right, so the issue is there's a little C-clip right there. You might not be able to see it, but you should be able to, if I push that, it's a little tiny clippy. See if I can get it with just needle nose pliers. You can barely see it. It's like covered in dirt and stuff, but I'm gonna try to get it. Oh, there. That was actually really easy. So right there, this little clipper doodle thing right there. That's it. That's going in the bag, so I do not lose it because that is very tiny. And what we should be able to do is, I don't need the light anymore. Should be able to just push this out. And I don't really care about scratching this because this paint's coming off anyway, so. And then I think, let me see. Does this come out? It does. Yeah, okay, well that was easy. This is kind of bent, I think. It's an original part, so I'll probably keep it, and it's still functional. I do believe I will need another spring though, because that one dog leg is gone. I believe it's supposed to, unless I'm, yeah, that looks clipped off to me. I believe that's supposed to be longer. Don't quote me on that, but anyway, here's the dust cover. So we'll put these parts in the bag. Put the gun parts in the bag. And there's, put the upper aside for now. There's one more part of the dust cover. It's the detent right here. I'm not actually sure how that comes off. It looks caked Or like welded maybe? Oh, you know what? It's another stupid C-clip. I don't know if you can see that, but right there. So we're just going to do the same thing, I think. Actually, that's a different type of C-clip. That's got much more wideness to it, but we're going to try... Let's see what I can do here. Ideally, I would have that uncompressed. Let's try 2 screwdrivers. Let's try a bigger hammer. I know I could put this against the vise, but I don't want to do that because I have metal shavings all over there. Ah, that works. Perfect. This is just a big bronze hammer. I'm gonna try use these 2 screwdrivers. There we go. This might actually work. Nope. Nope. Close though, I think. Dude, this is gonna go flying as soon as I get this off. I almost have it. Okay, I think it might be enough to get over that. There we go. I may have bent the clip too, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna stick that in the bag. A different bag, so we don't get them mixed up. Then we'll take this and the spring, and that part is fully disassembled. All right, next up we got the forward assist. This one may be a little more tricky, depending on how difficult the pin is to remove. It's another roll pin. You can see the pin there, and it's flush there. So I could potentially punch it out like this, because if I do this, I'm gonna have to find a way to support here. Easy enough. Just a pin. There we go. That's the pin out. It's going in our forward assist bag. People say that you're not supposed to reuse roll pins. I don't see why not. They're a spring, so sure, they might get compressed, but unless it's a really like too tight of a fit, I don't think it's gonna matter. I could be wrong on that, but I don't see why you couldn't reuse them. So that should pop out like that. And there's our little forward assisty boy. Let's see what we have left on here. There's just a spring that goes around it. There's another pin here for this piece, I guess. There's not any reason to disassemble any further here, except that it's full of junk. I could probably spray it, but I'd rather take it all the way apart. So this, I'm gonna make sure to make note of the orientation. Sorry, the lighting in here is not that good. I will try to make it visible. Yeah, these pins come out easy. That's a short pin, so we basically just remember the short pin goes in the short. Okay, does that not come out? Huh, okay. what was the point of that then if this doesn't come out? I don't know. That's fine for now. I really didn't have to take that apart. So let's get this other one if we can. You can see the pin right here. Yeah, you see the pin right there. I'm just gonna drive that out. Yeah, oh, actually that just comes out with me pushing on it, so. Tiny pin, so I'll hold on to it and pull this out like that. I guess it could really only go one way. Now that I think about it, yeah, it really only goes one way. Oh, that's like a plunger up in there. You see that? I don't know exactly what that, I mean, that's the plunger, I guess. I guess the spring is in there for a little further. Probably don't need to worry about taking that out, I would say. I didn't probably need to take this pin out either, although it's a little late for that. All right, we're back to the upper. I'm gonna see if I can get the rear sight off. It's got this neat little mechanism where I think you would press this detent pin and then spin the drum. Like, well, you might need a tool for that, but anyway, I think all you do is, don't use the screwdriver, but there's a screw on the other side. I think you just all right, so once again, I have no idea what I'm doing, and there's actually a pin running through, it's sideways, that's why. Okay, there's a pin right here, right there. Yep, running through there, and on the other side, I can't really see it. Yep, right there. So we're gonna drive that pin out. We basically, there's a detent. This thing is a detent with a spring, pretty straight, self-explanatory. Once we remove the pin, we can unscrew this from this side. It's probably not a tight pin, but it's this tiny little punch again. I can just hold on to this and do it, so, sorry. Like that. That pin is just about out. And it fell, so it's right here. Let me get another bag for this real quick. Okay, I'll just, this drum actually just comes off. So put that aside. This will be one of the parts that gets painted because, or not painted, stripped, because that is slathered in disgusting black paint. So we'll take the detent right here. And then we'll have to dig in there and grab the spring. That's, she's a punch. Well, it should come out. I need a tinier screwdriver. Or a mushroom punch. There we go. Punch did it. Now we should be able to get this screw out, which is not tight, I don't think, or at least it's not supposed to be. So I'm not, yeah, it's not tight at all. So I'm not worried about using the incorrect screwdriver for that, because it's not something that gets tight. In fact, you don't even need a screwdriver for the rest of it. Just use your fingers. There we go. And there is, it looks like, well, yeah, duh, that's the sight. So the sight itself looks like L for low, I guess. I don't know. L, that was facing backwards, so I'll try to remember that when I put it back on, that this that goes to the back. So it doesn't go this way. It goes this way on the rifle. That is the majority of the parts off of the upper. Man, I got to do the inside too. I'm not looking forward to that, but next we got the barrel. I do have the tools for this actually, but basically we need We need a long tool that goes in there and then engages the these what do you call it, these teeth that the bolt goes into in the barrel, because what retains the barrel is this nut thing, and you basically use a armorer's wrench to unscrew that, which it could be tight, who knows, it could be very tight, but you put that in there. And I'm also going to be clamping the upper in a vice block. I don't know if it's the right word, but basically just clamps on it so it doesn't move. And that should keep both of these things still enough to unscrew this. Oh, and one other thing, I'm not sure on the feasibility of this. I wonder if somebody could use this barrel stub for a pistol build or an SBR build. Let me know. I'm just curious. I don't know if the journal is correct for a gas block here. I'm guessing not. Who knows though. So the next step is getting the barrel off from the upper. You got to keep the barrel still while you unscrew the barrel nut. For that, I bought a wheeler tool. It's a upper receiver. So it's the upper receiver action rod is what it's called. And basically what it does is it takes the place of the bolt. It has the same kind of lugs as the bolt. You stick it in there, you lock it in, and it holds the barrel in place, and you clamp it on the end. So, and it's also got this alignment rod for, I think, for the gas thingy, gas tube, whatever. So you shove it in there. Make sure these are not turned yet. So these are lined up, and then we turn them. Now it's locked in there, and we'll clamp it here like so. And I'll move the camera in a second. Probably doesn't matter, but I would rather have something protecting this when I clamp it, so I'm going to, because I like to. And then I'm not going to clamp this thing. Thunder. Okay, and that's pretty good. So I thought we would have to clamp the upper, but I thought I would have to clamp the upper, but really it's not doing anything. The upper is just holding the barrel. So maybe if I was tightening it, I might also want to have that clamped. And I think that might be a case where I would not clamp this, I would clamp the upper in the vice block, and this would just be sitting there, which it's not that tight of a tolerance, so it might not help too much, but anyway, we'll get there when we get there. I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, we need to crack this loose. Yeah, so essentially, I'm just lining these up with this and crank it off. However, it's probably very tight, and so I want to make sure that we get it in there real good. And I'm probably gonna have to use a breaker bar or something. Or not. Yeah, that barrel is not on there very tight at all. Because for me to unscrew it with just the tool, I was expecting to need the breaker bar or a ratchet. Come on, there we go. There we go, I have it too low, it needs to go out. Okay. Okay, I can kind of unscrew it by hand now, like that. Now this really shouldn't be that tight. It should be, I think, don't quote me on these specs, but from what I saw and what I heard was maybe 50 to 70 foot-pounds. It was School of the American Rifle. Again, don't quote me on the exact numbers. Go watch his video if you're interested. He did several teardown, or a couple of teardowns of PSA rifles that people sent him to check how in spec they were. But he was saying that he has seen rifles that were like over 100 foot-pounds torqued. Which, if you think about it, this is aluminum. Why would you do that? It doesn't need to be that tight. Okay, see the index. See that's one of the reasons we needed the tool. There is the index pin right here that comes up. It's part of the barrel, and it indexes here. And that's how you line up the barrel. So if you over torque it and you don't have the right tools, then you run the risk of over tightening it and shearing the pin off or bending it or something. And also, I think on the other side of it, if you don't clamp the upper, it can move around like this. Even though this thing is in here in place, you run the risk of potentially getting this cocked when you tighten it and getting the barrel out of alignment. So there's a lot to keep in mind. And obviously I don't claim to be an expert on any of it, but I would like to do it correctly when it comes down to it. So this, I thought this just came out. It is, I think it's locked in place. That might be part of it. The upper, there we go. That's the barrel removed. And then we got the barrel nut. I may disassemble this. I'm not sure exactly what you do with it. I'll clean it up for sure because it's dirty. And then I think I want to strip the paint. Okay, it's just a snap ring. I can disassemble that. I honestly don't think it needs anything. I'll do that for painting. Okay, so again, sorry for the bad light. This looks like just a snap ring, and I do have the tool for that. Doesn't quite go wide enough. That almost came off though. I think I should be able to pop that all the way with a screwdriver. If I just... There we go, got the one end off. There we go. That's popped off. Okay, so that looks like it can slide on. Slides off like that. We got our entire barrel nut right here. Yeah, honestly, looking at that, I think that's the original Colt color. So I'm just gonna clean that up. And then this is a weird looking spring that I've never seen before. I don't know if the, I think the orientation does need to match up. The spring needs to be in line with that gap, see? Because if you, there's a gap there, there's a gap here, you gotta line it up, I believe. So we'll do that. We'll make sure to do that when we install it, but these parts are filthy. Awesome. I think that's everything. Like I said, we're not touching the bolt. The main parts off of everything are taken off. One thing I did miss, the spring in the rear sight. I forgot that there would have been a spring there and I dropped it, so it is out. The yeah, that's empty. That is, I believe, everything off the upper. Okay, sorry about the noise. That's the hot water heater's right there, and there's nothing I can do about that. I forgot about these two things. We still got to get the sight, front sight post off, and we still need to get the muzzle device off, which I think I'll do that first. Should be pretty easy. Literally just clamp it in a vise and turn it. I think I'm going to use these blocks as well. I should get some specific barrel clamp vise blocks. They make them, I just don't have any. This is probably the closest thing to it. The problem, I mean, I could clamp this and it would probably be fine. The problem is the surface area. Like, I don't care that it's gonna eat into the barrel. That's a bad, that's an old chunk anyway. Oh, that's cool, actually. There's markings on here that say, I think it says CMP chrome bore. Whatever, there you go. That's pretty cool. Maybe I will do something to, well, I am doing something to protect it, so keep it in there. I'll just make sure the markings are not on the side. Yeah, on the top. Okay, so clamp that down pretty good. And then I think, there's my wrench. I think it's just as simple as taking the wrench and turning it off. So literally just like that. Except my barrel is turning, so that's not clamped very good, like I thought it was. Okay, well that's fun. Let's go the rubber route. Yeah, so much for saving that, because that's, I've kind of boogered it up now, but that's okay. It's just a barrel stub that you can't do anything with, so. And it's only cool the first time you see it, I think. Let's see how that does. Still turning it. Oh, there we go. Got it loose. I should have bought a crush washer for this, and I didn't. I didn't think about it. Or actually, that doesn't look like a crush washer. I don't know what the M16s use. That's like a lock washer. So if that's the case, looks like we can reuse that, which is awesome. See, it's a lock washer. I am okay with that. And of course, they painted this too. Why, I don't know, but we'll deal with that later. So for the sight block, the front sight block, I need to remove the gas tube, which I believe there is a pin for that. Small pin. Okay, maybe not. And no, I'm not dumb. There is actually supposed to be a pin in there, and I think there is one. It just bent my punch when I tried to use it. Yeah, there's a roll pin in there. I just wonder if it's in there super tight or what, because that punch should go in there. Or maybe my punch was just messed up from before. It's bending this one too. Oh, wait. It's starting to move. I see it coming out just a little bit. So I just need to be slow and methodical and not bend my punch. Yeah, I'm gonna probably need to get a better or a different set of punches soon, because I'm surprised I haven't broken one of these punches yet. It's coming though, one day. Is it actually moving, or is that just now visible? No, it's coming out. I catch it with the nail. Very, very slowly it's coming out. So I'm a little confused. I see on this side, the pin is way bigger than I thought. That's almost too small. This punch should work. As you can see, this side, it looks very tiny. But I'm thinking that maybe the pin is actually bigger than it looks because of the paint. So I'm gonna try that really quick, just very gently. Yeah, that's a no. Let's try really quick, just for giggles. Let's try this side. Yeah, I'm a little stumped on this one. So the only thing that's been working so far is this little punch, and it keeps bending, but bend it back. Just very deliberate, straight on taps. And what ends up happening is pokes out a tiny bit more, because I can catch, that's about maybe a millimeter that's sticking out now, which is more than it was before. So there's something wrong with this pin. I know maybe it's the wrong size that they put in there. Who knows? Anyway, I'll keep doing that, and hopefully it'll be enough to get it out. Okay, after doing that enough, I got brave and did a big tappy tap, and it's coming out. So I don't know what the deal was, but it is coming out now, and I don't understand why one side is bigger than the other, and I don't think this little pin is gonna, that's just gonna bend again. For some reason, I had to use this punch, the regular punch. There we go. That's out now. And the pin is here. I honestly don't know. The pinhole. Okay, it's not bigger on one side like I thought. It's just an odd size. I really need a punch that's bigger than this, but smaller than this. And I don't have that, I guess. And this was the closest thing in between. So anyway, that pin is out, and I will probably be getting another one, because that's pretty bad. In theory, I should be able to just pull the gas tube out now, but I really don't think that's gonna happen. Ow. That hurt. So I think what I'm gonna do is get some pliers and use that rubber, a piece of bicycle tube. I do not want to squish it, but I do want it to come out, so I do just, that should be fine. So I'm just gonna very lightly clamp onto it. Until it comes out. Try with these. It's moving. There we go. And I don't believe I squished anything, which is great. Perfect. It's just really, really dirty. Nasty, even. Yeah, that is foul. I am gonna need to blow air through this and probably spray something, some cleaner in there, because that's nasty. But for now, that is fine. So we'll move on to the sight block itself. Wonder if they go in a certain way. If anything, they would come out here, because it looks like they beat on this side. Okay, so I am doing it correctly. These actually do have this side bigger than the other, so you want to punch out from this side. However, I'm just not having any luck, and I had the right idea with the big punch. I might want to put it not necessarily square with the pin, but more flat, so that I don't run up against this. That may be where I was going wrong somewhat, and you just do it until it starts to move, which hopefully will happen. It's very tight, it seems like. Okay, maybe clamping will help. That's about all I have going for me now, because it keeps jumping. At this point, I think I need to just use my AK builder jig for pressing the freaking barrel pins out because these are not moving. Let me try moving the clamp one more time. So what I've done here is I needed some starter punches, and I bought the cheapest set of roll pin starter punches off of Amazon that I could find, and I filed off the tip so that I now have a regular starter punch. These were like $8. I'll put a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so I would get commissioned if you use that link to buy these or anything else, but these are the ones I bought. They are great brand. Demill, whatever that means. So, oh yeah, by the way, I did put penetrating fluid, PB Blaster, on there a few days ago. Don't know if that's going to make a difference, but we'll see. Okay, we got it clamped. Alright, so I got a new tool. This is a Wheeler gas block pin removal tool, which is exactly what I need. It says it's for an A2, but it looks like the profile will fit on this A1. I'm hoping that effectively this will do what I would have done with the press. It would have been hard to get it lined up. Yeah, that's not even close. No, I mean, it doesn't matter because you can see very clearly. I'm gonna try what they say for the hammer and punch now. Jeez. That's a tight freaking pin. I don't think I ever would have been able to hammer that out. It's ridiculous. Actually, you know what? I don't know if it'll go all the way with this tool. So maybe I don't do that. Oh, yeah. That pin is gone. Not sure where it went. I guess it's probably yeah. I'll have to find it. It launched. Here it is. Which also does confirm that I mean, not that I did question it because the pins are so tight. I was like, am I doing this backwards? Clearly, no. This is the small end. This is the big end. It popped out, and that's obviously the same small end I've been beating on. So let's do the other one. It's pretty close. There we go. It's popping. I need a mallet. Like some people said, just do that. Or that. That works too. That probably popped it all the way out just like the other one. Actually, it didn't quite pop it out, so I'll finish this with a hammer and punch. All that set up for a pin that was basically already out. Oh well, we got it. Oh, I actually hammered it into the bench. Oh well. Well, we got 2 taper pins out, which means our gas block is removable. It's probably going to take some hammering, I'm sure, given how tight the pins were. On AKs, I'm used to the gas block being pressed on, and so that's what I'm expecting here. I don't know. I need to find out how to actually do this. So the next thing I need to do, mainly, there's 2 things really. One thing, I need to figure out a way to get this sight block off. I'm just trying to be careful not to damage the handguard retainer, because this spins freely. It's not attached to that. I'd probably just need to take a pipe and just go bap, bap, bap. Next thing I need to do is I need to strip the paint off of these parts. This one is the main one. The sight block also has some, and a lot of these small parts also have some. The only thing I'm not going to do is the bolt, because it looks like it has the original finish still. So that's fine, and I'm going to keep that. The lower, I'll have to decide how depending on how these come out. I think I'll still need to do Norell's Molly, the Colt Gray, on this, obviously, because this is bare. And I'll probably end up doing it over this as well, just to match, and then weather it from there. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can get this off, and then I'll strip the paint. I don't think I'm gonna film the paint though, or strip the paint stripping. It's too messy of a process to try to film, and it's kind of boring. So I'll just let you know how it goes and give progress updates. So this is the paint stripper that I bought. I'll put a link in the description. It'll be an affiliate link if I can find it on Amazon. If not, it'll just be Home Depot. I got this in Home Depot. I'll let you know how it works. I have a feeling it's going to be better than the Jasco stuff, because I had nothing but trouble with that stuff where it would not ever completely strip anything. Oh yeah, one more thing. The reason I'm explaining all this now is because I like the paint. I'm not going to film the paint stripping. I also don't plan on, because I need to clean this up. It's also a messy process involving spraying stuff on it to get all the carbon and the gunk out. I probably won't film that just because it's a messy process. I don't want it to be touching my phone while I'm doing that and risk getting stuff on my phone. But not so much. It's actually not as bad as I thought. But the sight parts, a little bit of the upper, the gas tube is really bad. I think this was pretty bad. Just in general, it was kind of bad. So I'm going to clean some parts up as well after I get the paint stripped, but you'll see that after. I'd say that turned out decently well. It got pretty much all the paint off and leaving the original finish. It's kind of hard to tell in some spots. There might be a little bit left, like here. But overall, did pretty good. I'm going to try some of the other small parts. The only weird thing is this looks like some bubbling or something. I don't know if that's like... It looks like part of the original metal, which is weird, but I don't know. It could be something weird with the stripper. So I'll do some more small parts before I go full ham on the upper. So the small parts turned out pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell with the lighting, but I did have to dunk them in oil because I was starting to get flash rust and on the steel parts, and that's a no-go. I don't know if I showed these already. This, some of this I'm not sure how much is, it just didn't come off, and how much of it was maybe a different type of finish, so I left it alone. I did it twice. The rest of these parts though, I'm gonna have to take some steel wool to this guy. It's pretty bad. And in fact, he's actually pretty bent here. I'm gonna have to either mess with that, fix it, or get a new one, or just deal with it. Flash hider, pretty good. These, this one you can't tell as much. There was just like little bits of paint on each one of these, and now they all look about how they should, especially this one. The edge of that. This one is pretty good as well. The heads of these, pretty good. But yeah, sight, some of it was also, they were dirty. And I think the paint stripper seemed to act a little bit as a cleaner as well. Remaining is the upper. This, once we get it off, and the charging handle. I need to clean these pieces. They're just dirty. So, I'd say these turned out pretty good. I did have to go back and forth twice with these. I had to spray them twice. This one I had to do several times, and I still had to go back with a paper towel with the paint remover and just wipe it in the areas and use a toothpick. It took a while, but I got it, and I've got everything with a light coat of oil. I don't think the aluminum is going to be a problem, but just in case. Anyway, those are good. The only thing left is this one, which I want to do after I get removed from here, so I need to figure out how to remove it. This might just do it. This is a slightly bigger piece of PVC pipe than what we usually have her laying around, and then if it was longer it'd be fine, but I need this piece to over the top. If I do this on the concrete, I might be able to get it. That actually worked really well, so I recommend that method. I did take it to the bench and kind of I hung the barrel, or hung the bayonet lug off the bench so that it could finish, but then by that time I could take it off by hand, so we're good there. All right, and that's it. There's no more silly black paint on any of these parts. This one turned out really good. I do need to take the front sight post out at some point, because there's probably water in there now after I did that, but I'll do that at some point. I don't know what tool you need. I need to find out. So now that I'm looking at all this, one thing I'm not too sure about is why the upper is still black. The paint is gone. Whatever is underneath here is just like the original Colt finish on all the other parts. The paint stripper didn't touch it, and I'm wondering if maybe they anodized it, or if they, whatever this coating is that Colt did, they did something similar but black. Because all these other parts, I know they're worn, but I don't know. Maybe it's just wear, but this part is not worn, and it's obviously a clear difference. This is black, this is gray. It's kind of hard to tell in the video. Let me shine light on it, so hopefully you can see the difference. Yeah, it's really not coming through that well on the video, but this is gray. This is straight up black. So I don't know that I care that much. Obviously this is way different, but that's because, actually, you know, I don't know why that is. It's closer to this gray, but it's not as deep. And so I think if I use the Norel's Molly, it'll be close. But see, there we go. You can see that gray. That's the gray it's supposed to be, I believe. The gray of the upper is black. So anyway, just something I'll have to consider later on. I'm not going to deal with it right now. I honestly just want to build this thing.